Hey everyone, it is the CSS tutorial part 3. In this tutorial I'm going to be running through layouts using div. So we're going to be making a header, a sidebar and then the main content. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to open up Notepad and we're going to type in the default HTML tags. If you don't know what these are, click the annotation on the bottom right hand corner of the screen to go to some of my HTML tutorials. Okay, so we can type in the title, whatever you want in the title. I'm going to add an exclamation mark at the end of it. Then we're gonna add the CSS. We're gonna link this to a CSS external sheet. So link rel equals style sheet, href equals style.css. Now we're gonna close the head, and we're gonna open the body, and then immediately we're gonna close the body because we're going to put stuff in it later, and then we're going to close the HTML. Press File, Save As. We're going to save it to the desktop. We're going to save it as index.html. Remember, it's got to be .html. Files, and then press Save. And now the document has appeared. So now it's time to go and open up a new Notepad document. So in this Notepad document, we're going to do the body tag. This is going to be our CSS one. And inside the body, we want our font family to be Century Gothic. And if Century Gothic's not available, we'll use Arial. Then we also want a background colour. So our background colour is going to be a very light grey, which is 6 Cs, which is a very light grey. And then we want our margin to be 0 and auto, which means basically put it in the centre with no padding at the top. Text align, we want centre, and then we're going to close the body tag. File, Save As, we're going to save it in the same place to the desktop as style.css, because if you look at this, it's style.css, so it's linked to the same document. Press Save and it appears in the desktop. So in our style sheet, again, we are now going to create content. So in the content, all we want to do is put a margin of 20px, auto, 0, auto, and basically that's 20 pixels at the top, nothing on the left, nothing on the left and right hand side, and nothing at the bottom either. Nothing at the left or the right, and nothing at the bottom either. We're going to file, save, and we're going to now add text align, center, and then we're going to close the content. Press file, save again, and in the body we're now going to add some content. So div class equals content. And close the div, press file, save. And if we open up the index, you should just see a blank screen with a grey background, and we've got no real content yet. So we're going to go back and we're going to create a new div class header, and we're going to close div. Now we want this to be inside the content, so we're going to put the we're going to close the div there. So the header is inside the content div. Press file, save, and then we're going to go back to our CSS and we're going to create the header, the custom header tag in div, the custom div class. So we're going to do header, and then inside it we're going to do width. We're going to do a width of 910 pixels. Background color, we're going to do a fairly light grey, but obviously not as light as the whole background colour. And then we want to do a border of 1 pixel solid, and we're going to do a slightly darker grey, so 666, and we can actually change it to dashed instead of solid, just to add a bit of style there. But obviously feel free to play around with however you want to do it. Close the header, and then actually we're going to add font size equals 60 pixels, because obviously it's the header, so we want a big pixel size. Then we want colour, which is a really dark grey, almost a black. And inside the header now we can add some text. So we're going to do Eds Johnson YouTube. YouTube. There we go. File, save, and if we press refresh, you can see it's now appeared. But it hasn't appeared in the centre. Now we're going to centrally align this header, this 960 pixel width header. To do this, obviously we can see its contents there, but obviously we want to centrally align the header too. So margin 0 auto. File, save, press refresh, and it's now gone into the centre. Perfect. That's working really nicely. It's now time to add some more stuff, some more content. So we're going to add still inside the content tag, we're going to add a new class, and we're going to do a sidebar. We're going to close that now, and inside the sidebar we're going to add and Rackwo home, and you'll see what Rackwo does, and then a line break and Rackwo about, and these are just our pages that we're going to have on the sidebar, and then and Rackwo, and then contact. And you'll see what the and Rackwo is. We're going to press File, Save, and now we're going to create the sidebar tag, the sidebar div in the CSS. And we're going to do a width for this sidebar as 300 pixels. We want it to float to the left, and then we want text align equals left as well. And we can also add some padding. So padding here, we're going to do 10 pixels. And basically that means that everything inside, so the left hand side, the right hand side, the top and the bottom are going to be have 10 pixels of padding. Then we're going to copy in the background colors and the borders from the last one, change it to 18 pixels for the font size, and now we can close it. So File, Save on the sidebar, press refresh, and as you can see it's gone right to the side. Now the reason for this is because the content that we created earlier up here hasn't got what we needed, so we're actually going to add 910 pixels in the content. That means that it's only going to be a width of 960. Press refresh again, and now you can see it's moved to the center just beneath it. We want to add a bit of space now though in between the header and the sidebar. So to do this, we're going to go to the sidebar, and we are going to add a margin at the top of 10 pixels. Press File, Save, press refresh, and now you can see it's shifted down, so there's a 10 pixel gap in the top. Now it's time to add the content, obviously. So we're going to do div class equals main, and File, Save, and we're going to go back to the CSS, and we're going to create the main CSS now. So we'll just shift that, there we go, right, main, we're going to type in, and then we're going to do a width for the main one of 600 pixels. Now the reason for this is because 600, 900, and 300 is 900, and remember the whole width we made is 910, because 910, because we wanted a 10 pixel padding in between the two. So we want to do, we're going to do margin left equals 10 pixels. So if you think 600 and 300 is 900, and then add 10, that's a whole 910. We're going to copy in the background and the border, the font size and the color again. We're going to quickly change the font size to 22 though. And then we can close it, and then press File, Save, and we're going to add some content. So welcome to line breaks, so BRBR. This is the content. File, Save for this as well, press refresh. Now, as you can see, it's shifted a bit below. Now, the issue with this is because what we forgot to do was if we go up to the sidebar, you see there's 10 pixels of padding. So we're going to change this to a width of, you can see the padding has 10 pixels, which means there's 10 pixels on either side. So we're going to do the width of 280. So 280 and 210 padding. There we go, it's shifted the right way, but obviously we want this up at the top. Now the reason it hasn't gone straight to the top is because we've got a margin left. We can get rid of the margin left and it will automatically make a margin. So refresh, and as you can see, now there's no 10 pixel padding at the top. So we're going to add this in the main styling now. So we're going to do margin, top, and we're going to do 10 pixels. File, Save, go back and refresh, and as you can see, it's now working perfectly. So this is the start of some really cool looking laid out professional website. Thanks for watching, guys. Next week I'll be working with CSS menu bars. Please don't forget to rate, comment, favourite, and of course subscribe for more videos soon. Bye for now.